motion to open tonight's meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion's been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to conduct business for the Selectmen's meeting on December 19th at 6:30 at Town Hall.
Great. And as a reminder, this meeting is being recorded by Marshfield Community Media. Michael, do you want to kick us off with the town administrator report and then updates on the clinic?
Will do, Mr. Chairman. I've had my weekly call in the WATD, working on advancing the Select Board's legislation, changing, officially, the final piece is getting the legislature to approve the Select Board change, so we're getting closer every day. Representative Kearney tells me and Senator O'Connor, so House Bill 4987, hopefully we'll get it to the governor's desk in the next week or so.
Awesome.
And get it signed before the end of the session. Meeting with Danielle and Labor Council to review an investigation involving a DPW employee. Meeting with Matt Parent on our energy consultant, Fred Russell, our facility director, and Aaron Kulig from NextGrid to review our PV photovoltaic locations around town. Meeting with software company Relevate to review some HR software and some services being offered. I did an annual review of our town accountant. Our town accountant's been here a year, so Ann's here tonight, so she got a very good review. Conducted a meeting regarding signalization of 965, 985 Plain Street with the School Street intersection with DPW and our town planner, Greg Guimont. Tom Reynolds was there, Rod Procaccino, and Dave Carrier from the Board of Public Works, and we seem to be getting that project moving, and I'm also, as the board saw, I sent a letter to Sowing Seeds about seeing if they would be open to have a discussion about an easement across their property, so we'll keep everyone updated on that. Attended the Pearl Harbor Remembrance Ceremony on December 7th, participated in the Mayflower Municipal Health Group's meeting to review a funding analysis, update on their opioid suit, and an update on Blue Cross and Blue Shield's new PPO Blue Freedom Medicare Advantage plan. Participated and spoke at the North Community League event. It was their 80th anniversary of providing incredible services to the community. It was held at North Community Church, and Ms. Fiddler was there with me at that event. Participated in a nuclear drill at the EOC. A number of members were there. Participated in FY24 budget meeting with Ann and Lisa. Chaired the finance team meeting to review collections, tax rate. Our assessors here, so we have a great tax rate at $11.32 per thousand. So, I had a meeting with Tim Davis regarding a recent purchase of sale of land that he's having some issues with, so we're trying to help him out with that. Meeting with James Marathis, Mr. Davis, Mr. Brown regarding 328 Ocean Street development. Meeting with the planner and assistant planner and Danielle regarding a new housing coordinator. Participated in the electric vehicle seminar offered by the Commonwealth. Meeting with Tom Reynolds to review some outstanding issues, including winter prep and storage of vehicles. And I know that the police chief's here, and he was very helpful in offering up some garage space at his new facility to house the 2 sidewalk plows, so we shouldn't have any issues. And the fire chief was very good about putting a front-end loader at the Massasoit Fire Station so that they'll have heated vehicles in those locations. Meeting with NextGrid regarding solar issues with Fred Russell and Matt Parent, finalizing photovoltaics at the police station. Annual meeting with Maya to review our policy coverage for the town. Weekly owner-architect contract meeting on the police project. Work with town council to prepare the electric service agreement with Direct Energy regarding aggregate electric. I know it may seem like it was a long time ago. It was over 3 years ago. Waited for DPU to approve. We've been approved with 6 other communities. And we went to market last week, and we got great rates. Marshfield standard, which is just 10%, is 16 cents per kilowatt. Marshfield Basics with no additions is 16.31 per kilowatt. And 100% in green is 1785 per kilowatt. And those are really good rates. We're very fortunate. Because electric right now, if you get Eversource and you get your bill, it's like 34 cents a kilowatt. When we went out to bid for the town, without, adding green, other than the standard 10% on our bulk purchase, we get that for 3 years at 14 cents. So It's important, but I think this will go a long way with green energy. We'll get more people to buy in because it will be cheaper for them to actually sign up and do it, so we're fortunate. Participated in hazard mitigation with the Woods Hole Group and the town planner. He participated in Eversource meeting regarding electric and gas shortage. So as you remember last year, I updated the board, these potential whiteouts as opposed to brownouts. Brownouts are in the summer, whiteouts. What they're gonna do with Pilgrim not producing the necessary power, they may have to shut down certain parts of the grid. And that includes a community like Marshfield. They may call and say, okay, Marshfield, Duxbury, Situate, we're gonna shut you down for 6 hours. So they completely turn off the power for 6 hours to give relief to the grid. It won't be longer than 6, but it could be for, 6 hours, which is, your house can get pretty cold in that time, but if there's no power, there's no power. It's just like at the height of summer when they have to shut you down, when everyone's using their air conditioning. So, they went through and, because they have to give priority, of course, to hospitals and, major public facilities like police. So we have generator at the police and fire stations and town hall and library and we pretty much everywhere we have generation, so we're fortunate. Talked to the fire chief about the 30 ambulance usage, meeting with Andrew Stewart and the building commissioner with Danielle regarding personnel issue. Had a meeting with town council on 328 Ocean Street with Mr. Marathis, Mr. Davis, Mr. Brown, regarding transfer of the building permit. Had a meeting with select person Fiddler to go over some issues. FY24 budget review meeting with Lisa and Ian, finalized the budget, and attended the Korean War Veterans Holiday Party at Haddad's. That is my town administrator report, and I'll quickly go right into the clinic. At the clinic, to date, we've done 4,430 shots and 806 vaccines at the clinic, for a total of 93,549 COVID-related shots, and then you add 806 flu shots, and we continue to go through January 14th at the fairgrounds, and then we'll come back here.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Can I have a question, Mr. Chairman? Michael?
Yes, sir.
Regarding the whiteouts,
Yes.
maybe we could have a further update in a little more detail. I mean, if we're gonna be shutting off power, I mean, if you shut off a whole area, there could be elderly there, and how we're gonna support them and things like that. Maybe we get the word out, should that ever happen?
They'll give us advance warning. This was sort of the prep meeting to
Yeah,
prepare.
I know it's early.
Yeah, they'll have follow-ups, but they just wanted to put it back on everyone's radar. Now, they said you never know, they may not have to. Last winter, they didn't have to do it. But if it's, so that the trigger is just like in the summer. If it's abnormally cold, then we need to be guarded. We're adding generation to Grace Ryder and to the other, slips my mind, right behind Star Market. T-Rock, thank you, Chief. T-Rock, so we'll have generation there. We have generation, so if need be, we'll have, people can come to the library once the rug's in, after January, so long as there's none before the end of January. And then, if need be, we can open up other buildings and schools as heating centers.
Thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments, Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Just on that same topic.
Yes.
So when they are at the point of perhaps being at a critical level, do they inform all the surrounding towns? Do they inform you? How does that?
So they'll inform the town, that they sort of can predict out like a week or so based on what the temperatures are. There's a formula for the temperature and how many kilowatts of electricity or how many therms of natural gas you will use. Because it's both for natural gas, there's there can potentially be shortage of natural gas also. But they're supposed to have Ryan from Eversource, who's our local rep. He'll keep everyone updated and give as much advance notice as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to go to our first appointment with Harbor Master DeMayo. Good evening.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Just wanted to give a quick department update. The chief obviously The chief is my boss, obviously. A very good one, I might add.
That's because we're on camera.
And it's the holiday
Yeah.
season.
So there's been a lot of good things happening in Marshfield. One of the major things that was supposed to happen this fall was the Green Harbor dredging project with the Army Corps. The bid went out a little late, I guess, for Army Corps. So the plan next year is to dredge all of Green Harbor federal anchorage, the entrance and the whole entire federal anchorage. In concert with that, the town, us, will be dredging some 8,000 cubic yards in front of the pier area as well, as we did 10 years ago. And the two marinas will probably be dredging, well, Taylor Marina and Green Harbor Marina will probably be dredging next year as well, if their permits are ready. Currently, the Green Harbor, Green Harbor Yacht Club has their permits, and they have equipment on site to dredge, but they've been getting kind of delayed because of weather, so that could be next year as well. But next year, the harbor's gonna be pretty busy. As you know, the town's responsible for hauling out all the moorings. That's under our funding as well. That contract was ready to go. We didn't award it because the Corps didn't show up, but I'm told next year it's gonna take place, which is a good thing for many, many reasons, especially commercial fishing. The other big thing is the infrastructure project for the Green Harbor jetties, which have been misaligned since 1969. This has been going on for many, many years. Talked to Chief Daly about it. It's like Christmas present that never comes, but I can tell you that the jetties in Green Harbor will be fixed at some point to be wider, taller, the basin be a little deeper. Mr. Marshfield sent a letter to the Army Corps back in 2019 requesting the feasibility study, which is the Section 107. Currently that study is going through the Army Corps channels right now. So I would say in the next 2-3 years, the Green Harbor jetties, funding in place will be corrected, which will help reduce our need to dredge every single year. Green Harbor is the #1 dredge port of all of New England, and we're thankful for that, but it's not going to be #1 for dredging, but we're thankful that the Corps does take care of us each year, but hopefully moving forward, we can get to a 10 to 15 year dredge cycle and have nice jetties that don't breach and fall apart. So that's going to be a huge one once that's done. The other reason why I'm here tonight is the recreational shellfish rules and regulations. I just updated those. They were last updated in 2012. I think you guys have that. The main reason with that is also requesting reciprocity. I'll be briefing the Situate Select Board tomorrow night on the same issues here. As you know, the rivers were closed for shellfishing some 3 years ago from Division Reef Fisheries. Some studies were done, not done quick enough for others, but we're back to a point that we're actually able to dredge, shellfish recreationally in the rivers starting January 1st, provided all the forms are signed by both communities and things like that. So I know you guys have the regulations in front of you. There was one change that we had to do because Situate shellfish permits were much more higher than ours. Ours were 10 for residents. Situate's was 20, so I changed ours to 20. And our out-of-towns were 25. We had to change those to 50 to be in concert with Situate. So with reciprocity, if you guys would approve it, a person could go to Situate Town Hall, get a permit and dig in Marshfield, Situate. Marshfield can go dig in Situate, and vice versa. Because the thing is, with the closure area, and I didn't have these up online yet, but tomorrow I'll have these up online, which is the new maps of what's opening, what part of the year. So we did do some real estate as far as shell fishing, but you can talk jurisdictional boundaries all day long. And we also added 7 days a week to our shellfish regulation, the same as Situate. So folks aren't being forced to go out there in bad weather days to actually go out there and dig. So at least they can come and go, plan the weather a little better and help reduce the issues and urge to go out there in adverse weather. Because most of the areas that we have for digging, you need a vessel to get out there. So one step further, what I did is I created this shellfish placard, and it's part of the camp, which I'll get into next. So if you're out there digging, say you park at Damien's Point, you park at the Herring River to go out there shell fishing, this will have your name, your vehicle number, your permit number, which town, a resident, non-resident, and Marshfield, Situate. So, because shell fishing is strenuous, you can't get stuck in the mud. We have had rescues of people stuck in the mud. So this will give us a pretty good head start if somebody's overdue. So same thing we do with the placards for our kayaks and canoes and paddle boards. So at least we know somebody's out there. We do have cameras at Damien's Point, that helps as well. But for the most part, most people go to the same location, but if we know they're out there, this will be a huge help to get police and fire going in the right direction. So that's a huge addition that we never ever had. So as far as department updates on grants and awards, we did get a grant back this July for $192,000. That was for the mooring regrid work and also to help with the permits for our portion of Green Harbor dredging, which we should have hopefully by March, so we can go out to bid much earlier. And that gives us the ability to seek more grants too, and hopefully save $400,000 or $500,000 with the Massachusetts dredge pilot program for dredging. So kind of a blessing in disguise that we waited a year, because you can't really ask for permits if you don't have the permits in hand. The last thing I have is the conditional area management plan, which is, this has to be signed by the chairman from Marshfield and Situate, and the Situate wastewater treatment plant. Basically, this document is from the Division of Marine Fisheries. It's pretty in-depth. It talks about closure of the plant, it talks about plant notifications and performance standards. So basically, if Situate had a problem at their sewer plant, there's protocols in here to close the rivers. I think state laws, you have 4 hours to close the rivers, flats down. We can do it much quicker than that. So it's really enhanced the communication with Marshfield, Situate. The sewer plant operator with the Situate sewer plant operates very high efficiency through those Marshfields. They have sand filtration and they do UV testing. The fact that the rivers probably should have never been closed with all this going on, but we're back to the shell fishing January 1st. And on these slides, which I'll post on these are marine fishery slides. They talk about the areas that are open and closed with the winter classification, the new spring classification of opening and closing. But really, when it comes down to it, it talks about how much area is open and conditionally approved areas for the winter. Historically, it was 293, now it's 115 acres, and in the spring it's 179 acres versus 314. But if you look at the maps, a lot of that area is in front of the spit and the new inlet, which there's no one really digging or anyway. So really, the new winter is 46% opening, new spring is 61. But part and parcel of where you're digging is actually not that bad. Some good parts of Situate were lost because you can walk to them. Damien's Point, you can walk, but it's murky, it's muddy out there as well. But you can walk out to shellfish beds. In the future, I'll be looking to do more propagation of growing shellfish in certain areas of both sides of the river. So we keep the replenishment going of shellfish, and hopefully we're looking at next year opening the rivers October 1st. That's the push for next year, which seems to be pretty positive with marine fisheries.
Awesome. Do you have anything else you wanted to add, Mike?
No, that's it. Just if you guys had time to review this and maybe entertain a motion to sign this if you could, because I have to go for the Situate tomorrow night to get this signed and hopefully get to have the shellfish beds open January 1st.
Yeah, I'll sign that before we leave, so you don't have to come back.
Okay.
Um,
And then if you could be so kind to discuss and recommend approval of the new updated shellfish regulations that haven't been done in 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know not every town is reciprocal with the bodies of water they share with Situate, so I'm glad that we can get along.
Right. It's and I think next year we'll have, because now we have 2 permits for each town. But shellfish is a thing of the past, and this whole thing started in the height of COVID, and where people wanted to be outside and outdoor digging recreationally with open space more than 6 feet apart. So Marshall and Situate work very good together, as you know, in many projects. And we're talking shellfishing here, we're not talking excise tax and taxes. I mean, these are not moneymaker permits for either town, and really you want people to be educated and go out there and have a good time digging. I mean, for a $50 permit for out-of-town resident, I mean, the average pound of steamers at a market is like $9, $10. So if you go once, you get your money back.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're talking too much money here.
Yeah.
Obviously, veterans are free. In-town residents for veterans are free. Out-of-town have the same rate as the town fee. So any veteran in Massachusetts can come to Marshall, Situate and get a permit for $20.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Yeah, if I do quickly, first I want to thank you. I know you've been really active on this.
Yeah.
I know other groups and teams have been as well, but I know you've been kind of relentless on this.
Been a group effort all the way
Mr. Mayo.
through.
Yeah, so I do want to thank you for doing that. Getting these open, I think, is really important. They've been closed for 2 years now. I know we haven't got it all open. I really think reciprocity is great, because I've gone out there before. There's some areas where you think you're in Situate,
Right.
but you're in Marshfield, and you think you're in Marshfield, but you're really in Situate. So that ends all those. I think the equal cost is, as you said, you go out and buy some shellfish at the store, that it's going to be a one and done on that, and we can't have 2 different price points because they'll just town shop.
Right.
The only thing that I did notice on the maps, and you said you're going to post those on the
Yeah,
website
so,
for
yeah, I do
citizens
have
to
these,
see those?
I did the Vision Marine Fisheries maps. This was part of the study.
Uh-huh.
This was all based on 1,000 to 1 dilution, but they actually, based on the sewer plant's superior capacity and working ability, they reduced it to 301, which triggered the new maps of the open and closure areas. And then we were out last week and putting signs out in the flats, which highlights here in the camp with the Latin longs of the closure areas. And they are a little confusing. I mean, a little discretion goes a long way out there.
Yeah.
But it's a learning curve for people. I think people just want to get back out there and get back to digging, as they did for many, many years.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I was surprised on that was, and we spoke earlier, was when you get to the 13 can, where you hang a left. That's a great area. That's where I used to go shell fishing a lot, and that still is closed. So it's important to get that up for people so they know that area is still closed, unfortunately. But we're going to get that open sooner or later. So, and just could you review for the public, how do they go get a permit?
Yeah, so permits are available at the harbor master's office Monday through Friday this time of year. And what we're going to do is, it's going to be in a spreadsheet form now. You come down, you need a picture ID, because it goes in the back of your license. It's all laminated. You know, it doesn't have to be a driver's license, it's a picture ID, so we can identify who's in the flats and who's out there, who's catching what, because I have to do a catch report each year to the state, so you gotta track what's coming out, what can be put back in. Then it'll be a spreadsheet with your name, phone number, address, everything, and then we're gonna set up an alert system as part of the camp, where if the sewer plant had a failure, we could notify you by email, by phone, kinda like a code red alert through the sheriff's office, something like that. So anybody's digging, you can get closure updates, opening updates, like March 1st, the South River opens completely. So we'll push that out so folks can go to the South River, because the South River is really, really good. So just things like that. And I think in the future, we'll start getting more into shellfish with propagation projects.
Yep.
That's why we have all the mitigation funds for shellfishing, and so we're putting back what's coming out.
Thank you, Harbor Master.
And volunteers are always welcome, because the bags are heavy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
I'm just really appreciative of all the work on, I love shell fishing, it's a family event, and it's recreation, it's a hobby for a lot of people, and I know it takes a lot of work, and with our sewage treatment plant here, we need to be right in line with
Right.
actual emergency, like when 4 hours is great, communication's really important, and I just appreciate the hard work as we go forward, and Situate as well. I'd like to thank them as well for working with you. That's it.
Thanks,
I will
Lynn.
say that on January 1st, it's an afternoon low tide, and there's a Pats game that day, but based on last night, I think I'll be shell fishing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate to say that, but
A lot
Less
going on in
stressful.
that team.
she's coming too.
It's a long night at the family last night.
Awesome. Well, very thorough and detailed as always, Mike, so we
Thank you.
appreciate you coming in for the updates. All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the 2022/2023 recreational shellfish permits and fees. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the 2022-2023 recreational shellfish permits and fees.
All right, I'll make a second motion to approve the conditional area management plan effective December 19th, 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the conditional area management plan effective December 19th.
Awesome. I can sign that now for you if you'd like.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
support.
Of
course.
Come in.
Last page? Sure. I wonder if the Situate chair has a better signature.
The pressure's on them now.
Yeah, there we
Marshall
go.
already stepped up.
When are you going to go see him?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Do you think Cohasset was taking notes on this meeting?
No comment.
All right, so next up, we have Fetch Barbecue and Catering, just a change of corporate structure. I hope you guys learned a lot tonight we weren't expecting, shellfish regulations.
A lot of good stuff, actually. Really nice.
Yeah, there we go. You guys are welcome to stay for the budget presentation later, but we won't begrudge you if you want to get back.
All right.
All right, so, you know, all your paperwork seems to be in order. It's a pretty straightforward request. Did you guys want to add anything?
Nope. That was it.
All right, sweet. Any questions or comments, Jim?
None. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions or comments, Lynn? All right, I'll make a motion to approve the change of business structure from Restaurant Innovations LLC to Restaurant Innovations, Inc., doing business as Fetch Barbecue and Catering Company, located at 1175 Ocean Street in Marshfield, Mass. And Daniel Naples is the manager. Is there a second?
Second?
Roll call's been made. A motion's been made. A roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the structure change for,
Thanks, guys.
You guys,
Have a great night.
Coming down for sandwich soon.
great presentation.
All right, Mike, we are ready to rock and roll with your budget presentation.
okay. Okay. Should be coming up on the screen. Yep, it's coming up right now. I'll get going while technology catches up.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Happy to be before the board to offer our FY24 budget, and want to give special thanks to our treasurer, Lisa Clark, and to our town accountant, Ann Bastille, for all their assistance. And this is actually the first budget that the teams worked together on. We've accomplished a great deal with this budget while we continue to combat COVID-19. The FY 2024 budget will provide $1,624,629 in new revenue for the school department, which is a 3% increase overall. General government has increased by 2.04%, and we have maintained our workforce while repositioning resources to achieve this goal. We continue to fund a full-time assistant planner, full-time assistant conservation agent. We have accounted for COLAs and contracts in all divisions without the use of free cash. We continue our cost-share agreement with the schools for our Human Resource Division, and we have recommended an increase to public safety of $436,809 over FY23 to continue to provide the best resources for the police department, fire department, and ambulance. We can continue to fund CTG ball field account by $100,000, and that provide DPW with department flexibility to move overtime costs around in the various divisions. We have not reduced any senior or veteran services. We continue to keep all municipal full-time and part-time positions funded at this time, all while managing increases in pension costs, healthcare costs, utility costs, gas and diesel fuel costs. Revenues. Revenues are again being recommended at a 2.54% overall increase, which we feel is achievable. The Select Board previously adopted a budget policy back in 2020. No revenue should exceed 3%. The revenue recommendations before you accomplish that directive. Our other revenues were decreased by 0.01% or $692.09 for our local receipts due to volatility of the economy. Our state aid figure remains close to a 3% overall increase. Debt exclusion for Furnace Brook Middle School and Marshfield High School decreased by $149,661 or 2.49%. Total revenue projection is for $109,022,243. On this slide, you'll see revenues. This chart on this slide identifies total revenues on the right-hand side and a breakout by type our other revenues to fund our municipal budget. Revenues increased by 2.54% overall, or $2,702,018. And if you look, you'll see local receipts, free cash, use of reserve, wetland protection, cemetery perpetual care, solar panels, council on aging, GATRA reimbursement, debt reserve transfer, pilot payment, waterways licensing, enterprise and direct, COA state grant, and overlay reserve transfer. And that gives you sort of a breakdown of the numbers and the revenues. Maximum allowable levy is $80,613,505, and you can see state aid and other revenue. Other revenue is the green. Explanation of expenses. Town departments have had put in their request only for what is truly needed to keep providing services to our town during these challenging times while dealing with COVID-19, rising inflation, utility costs, fuel costs, pension costs, and healthcare costs. It's really the department heads that work cooperatively with us, only ordering and buying and putting in requests for what they truly need, so that we have enough of the revenue to spread around for everybody to accomplish those goals. The centralized budget process we now have allows the town administrator and the select board to have the flexibility to reposition resources based on the needs presented during the budget hearings. Just so people that are, Lisa, Ann, and I meet with the department heads a couple of times, the major department heads 2 or 3 times. That's like school, DPW, fire, and police, and we listen to what they're gonna need to carry on the services that they have now, meet their collective bargaining agreement, and if there's any additional resources, if there's something that they truly want to do, why do they wanna do it, and if we have money, we'll try to fund something like that. Town has overcome last year's challenging with the hiring of a new town accountant, a new treasurer collector, and through it all, there's been a wonderful collaboration between the department heads and staff. Finance team has met with all departments and reviewed the financial requests needed to achieve their goals. We have again not had to implement any layoffs or furloughs, as many of our neighbors have, thanks in large part to the support and recommendations of the Select Board. The following charts and department reviews will provide additional information. Total expense projected $109,022,243. And if you look at this next pie chart, this is a pie chart for expenses. And you'll see it's color coordinated, so town government, debt service, employee health and life insurance, snow and ice overlay, raised on the recap, school department is the big, I would call it like a rusty red, general insurance, unemployment, audit, state and county assessments, debt service, non-excluded, pensions, facility reserve fund, and town meeting appropriations. Fixed cost. The finance department once again was able to time the debt service structure to offset any increases, which saved the budget $423,550 this fiscal year. This prevented layoffs and maintained a total fixed cost increase of 1.06% over last year's increases. It is always our objective to keep fixed costs level funded. You'll see from the chart, strategic budget forecast, we go through debt service non-excluded, debt service excluded, general insurance, pension, employee life insurance, unemployment, facilities, snow and ice, audit, OPEB payroll, munis, other expenses, reserve fund, overlay, state and county assessments, town meeting appropriations. And you see what was the actual for 22 was appropriated for 23 and what was estimated for FY 24. Total fixed cost projected increase over FY 23 of $319,565 or 1.06%. Debt management, which is always important, managing our debt. Capital funds appropriated by borrowing or any other finance source may not be used for operational expenditures at any capacity. The town makes certain these funds are kept separate and only used for the projects in which it has been approved for by town meeting. The finance team, with guidance from the board, has a policy that does not allow inside debt costs to exceed 5% of our operating budget in total, nor excluded debt to exceed 10% of our operating budget in total. We have achieved both of these goals. In total, debt service had been reduced by $423,550, all while bonding our capital projects. Debt exclusions passed 11/19 of 2020 for the police station, DPW facility, senior center addition, and for seawalls. Our debt management, general obligation bonds, and market knowledge have assisted in saving jobs this year. Because of our conservative plan of debt management and uniform annual payments, we have minimized our tax impact and will see the benefit of our conservative plan now and into the future. If you look at the chart below, you'll see debt, 700 is the department number. Inside debt, fixed cost was reduced by $273,889. Outside debt was reduced by $149,661. Short-term debt, there was zero. And then total debt you'll see reduced by $423,550. If you look at this graph, you'll see debt for 2023, $8,972,009, and it shows how it continues to go down each fiscal year till it gets to one of the lowest points in 2039. Total inside debt right now is $3,103,712. Total excluded debt, $5,868,297. FY24 general government. Total general government number is $3,116,577, an increase of $62,417 from fiscal '23. The general government continues to fund a full-time assistant planner by keeping an administrative clerk's position vacant temporarily as we manage costs through the pandemic. General government has cut discretionary spending and IT costs due to the purchase of Munis. And general government has built in a 2% projected contractual increases to the salary line for union and bylaw employees. The town began converting the financials to Munis on December 1st, 2022. The conversion is running smoothly, and we anticipate that it will continue to do so. Our other modules will be converting on a step basis, with full conversion accomplished by the end of calendar year 2024. And Lisa and Ann are working very hard daily with department heads to get people the necessary training to get us fully into Munis, so it's exciting. Total $3,116,577, or a 2.04% increase for general government. FY 2024 public safety. The town continues to promote and provide funding for its public safety personnel, including full funding for school resource officers at the high school, Furnace Brook Middle School, and elementary schools. The town increased public safety by 3.25%. Police and fire returned approximately $125,000 in FY '22 by exceptional management of overtime and resources. ARPA funds have been allocated to purchase 2 ambulances and 1 fire truck. We're presently waiting for those. We put the order in quite a while ago for the first ambulance. We put another ambulance order in last year, and we're waiting just like everyone else. There seems, because the ARPA funds are out there, the CARES Act money was out there, people took good advantage of it, and even though we were early, we're still waiting to get those pieces of equipment in. The fire department utilized the grant to purchase an off-road fire truck, and the chief's placed that order, so we're waiting for that vehicle also. The police and fire departments continue to receive support through capital budget process to purchase safety equipment, police vehicles, and supplies. Public safety increased $436,809, or 3.25%. The school department will receive a full 3% increase on its operational budget over FY '23 for a total projected budget of $55,778,939, or a 3% increase. They have continued to do a fantastic job of combating the COVID-19 virus while educating our students in the classroom. We have received millions in support for the schools from the CARES Act funding. The schools in the town have worked to improve Wi-Fi expansion for all school and town facilities. Capital budget funding and free cash has continued to assist the schools in maintenance, security, and COVID-related items. FY 2024 Public Works. The town continues to support our Public Works Department to provide the best services to our citizens. Public Works Division will see a 1.03% increase overall, for potential contractual increases due to the town vehicles being serviced by outside vendors during construction and moved to the new building at 965 Plain Street. And now that DPW is up and running, DPW is back to maintaining the majority of our vehicles, the big heavy fire equipment that's under contract and stuff like that. We have another vendor that comes in and works with the DPW on maintenance for those types of vehicles. We have worked with the Superintendent of Public Works to reposition resources to provide additional funding for maintenance of the fleet. We continue to support and maintain the ball field and park accounts, keeping our fields and play spaces in the best possible shape. Our community and sports teams demand. Public Works also receives support for the capital needs through the capital budget process for general fund and through retained earnings for wastewater, water, and solid waste. Solid waste curbside funding has been level funded. Total commitment to general fund public works, $3,109,744. Health and Human Services for fiscal 2024. Town has continued to fund the full-time assistant veteran service agent, provided additional council on agent funding for goods and services, so our senior population continues to be active in education and social activities. Created a revolving fund for the Seaflower Cafe at the Senior Center, and if anyone has not had the opportunity to have breakfast or lunch there, they should go down and check it out. They have great food, great service, and it's a beautiful setting. The fireplace is always going, and it's very reasonable. Increased funding for the Board of Health agent, continue to fund 2 part-time nurses to keep the town healthy during COVID-19 pandemic. Total Health and Human Services budgeted increase by $155,251, or 11.47%. Cultural Services. The library has taken on the task to keep services open and allow the public to have access to library resources during the pandemic, including a book drop-off and pickup program, public Wi-Fi, and many cultural programs for students and the general public. Library rug is being replaced the winter of FY23. Library is shut down right now. They're removing all the furniture and the books, and they'll begin to take up the rug. They'll do the asbestos abatement, put the rugs back, and then put everything back, hopefully by the end of January. People can continue to get books, and they pick them up in Duxbury, and then our staff then goes to Duxbury, returns the books, and we're using the meeting rooms and stuff to store stuff in. Town continues to support our library and fund other cultural services such as Clam Flats, Veteran Memorial, and the Historic Commission's efforts. Cultural services benefit us all. Total commitment to our library and cultural services is $909,112. It's an increase of $53,438, or 6.25%. Utilities. The town of Marshfield is committed to going green with a very aggressive investment in photovoltaics, battery storage, charging stations, electric vehicles, LED lighting, and building enhancements. The town will be receiving additional energy credits with the most recent power purchase agreement, as well as placing a solar array field on our capped landfill, photovoltaics on municipal buildings and carports and parking lots, including schools, police, council on aging, and DPW. We will be adding electric charging stations at the police station, council on aging, and DPW facilities to eliminate a single point failure in battery storage to hold photovoltaics. The town is moving forward with aggregate electric with the approval from DPU. We have invested with Green Community Grant funds into LED lighting for the schools and fire station, boiler replacement at the Central Fire and Furnace Brook Middle School. The utility budget covers all town buildings costs for heat, electricity, and communications. The current funding level is $488,561, or a 3.84% increase, with the expectation that this will be decreased by energy credit offsets. If you look at this chart, this is the revenue breakdown. You'll see how we do the revenues, the actual for 22, FY23 appropriated, FY24 request, and then a recommendation. You'll see maximum total allowable levy is $80,613,505. You have state aid, less the offset, gets total state aid less offsets $18,152,044. And then we get into local receipts, $7,974,260. And you'll see other things such as articles, free cash left over for transfer, community impact fee, use of reserve bond premium, waterways, wetland protection, licensing and keeping of dogs, cemetery perpetual care, enterprise indirects, solar panel, council on aging state grants, council on aging GATRA reimbursement, overlay reserve fund transfer is 0 for fiscal 2024. which gets us to other revenue of $10,256,694, which when you add all those together, total revenue is $109,022,243. And you'll see in the extreme right-hand side, increases over FY '23 and the percentage increase. So overall, that's an increase of 2.54%. Expenses, this is a breakdown very similar to how we did revenues. This is a breakdown of expenses. You'll see general government costs under FY '24 request. You'll see public safety, public works, health and human services, cultural services, unclassified, utilities. That gets us to $23,048,432. And school departments, $55,778,939. Then we have non-excluded debt service excluded, general insurance, pension totals. Pensions was one of those budget busters. Pensions, healthcare, and utilities. Pensions went up by $492,000, and we have to continue to be conservative because till we get to FY '28, Plymouth County will be the first county to have the pension system fully funded, and that will free up 3/4 of what we're paying now in pension funds. Unemployment life insurance, unemployment facilities, snow and ice budget, audit, OPEB, payroll, and munis, and then other expenses, reserve fund overlay, state and county assessments, town meeting appropriations, and town meeting appropriations are the cost of actually doing town meeting, along with the board approves grants for those organizations. Everyone gets $1,000. That's covered in that number. You see on the extreme right-hand side, the increases over FY '23 and the percentages, and total increase for FY '23, for FY '24, pardon me, was $2,702,019 and 40 cents, which is 2.54%. Closing summary. The FY 2024 budget as presented is balanced. The expenses and the revenues balance one another. Tax rate went down to $11.32 per thousand. The schools will receive a 3% increase for their FY '24 budget. School resource offices will continue to be funded by our grant at the Marshfield High School, Furnace Brook and Elementary, and with community impact fees. The general government budget has increased by 2.04%. Town Hall elevator is creating better access for all of our citizens who struggle with mobility issues. We continue to fund 2 part-time nurses for the Board of Health. We are continuing to fund a full-time assistant planner and assistant conservation agent to manage the very large caseload demands of those departments. We have funded COLAs and contracts without free cash. We continue to cost share with the schools for HR. We have increased public safety funding by $436,809 for fire and police. We continue funding cemetery trees and greens ball field accounts, and we have provided DPW with flexibility to manage overtime costs. No layoffs or furloughs in FY '21, '22, '23, and projected for 2024. FY '24 budget will fund Robert Egan to serve as the town's weights and measures consultant. So up until this year, the state's been paying. So if you go to the gas station, see that little seal? The state's been doing that, and they just noticed that they should not have been doing it for many, many years. Once your population exceeds 20,000, you have to have your own. So we hired our own. It's the same individual. He did a great job. He does Situate, Duxbury, and a number of other communities surrounding us. Capital projects are underway for the DPW's new building. The new police station was substantially completed by April of 2022, and our seawalls have been completed, with another new section being completed in Brant Rock. I am happy to report that to date we have saved the taxpayers $13.7 million due to favorable interest rates and the use of $1.2 million in bond premium funds for those capital projects. We have continued to look for ways to reduce costs on those projects as we move forward. DPW is investing in repairs and upgrades in our water and sewer infrastructure with $4 million in ARPA funding. The dog park received approval from the Stanton Foundation for $250,000 in funding. Dog park construction begins in December. Anticipated completion in early summer of 2023. We continue to support our COVID drive-through clinic at the fairgrounds with reimbursement from insurance carriers, MEMA and FEMA, if needed. To date, we have given out over 94,355 vaccines with a variety of COVID-19, 93,549 vaccines, and 806 flu vaccines. Modernization of Town Hall is underway with an appropriation from Senior Center capital funds that will fund 6 new bathrooms, a new chamber, and repositioning of some departments. These improvements were funded with no additional cost to the taxpayers. Finally, we continue to make up ground on the maintenance of our public buildings, thanks to the great work of our facilities department and support by town meeting for funding from free cash. Thank you, and I'll answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michael. We appreciate all your hard work and the hours you put in, our entire team, and it's great that we have had and continue to have fiscal stability. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Just a couple of quick ones, if I may. Michael, we have in page 9, debt FY '23.
Yes.
So if you could just maybe help explain so everyone will understand the debt load decrease 22, 23, and 24. We got a nice steep drop off there. Free up some funds on that.
Yes.
Are you able to describe the
Well, I
That
don't know,
situation.
so things come off, so we
Different
do
times.
Different things come off at different times.
But specifically, we're going to decrease the debt load a lot, then it declines slowly, and I'm not going to worry about projection for
Because remember, yeah,
2033 at
because
this
we
point.
have-
School maybe or something like that
Well, we're carrying, remember, the 49.9 million
for the big projects we
debt
just did.
exclusion, so that's, and then we're still carrying the residual from, I think, about 55 million that was borrowed for the new high school. But then we did other small borrowings over the years, and those are what's coming off now and will continue to come off.
I know that, because debt was fairly cheap. It was really easy to borrow money over the last, maybe 5, 6 years. Actually, it could be negative costs, and now debt's getting very expensive, so it's like we secured at good rates. I like the fact that we are showing, really projected through, at this point, until 2028, until something comes up that we may not expect, that we're having a decreased debt load. Because like the U.S. government's debt load, it just chews into all the available funds to do other things you want to do for the town. So I think that's great, and I wanted to point that out. Just could you also, I'm not sure if you're able to do this, snow and ice, I know that's flatlined, and I know that's one of the few things that we've kind of flatlined, and it is what it is at the end of the year, right?
Well, it is, so that line item by the state legislature allows cities and towns to, they can set whatever cost they
They
want.
want.
You have to pay, and then we pay up
We
at
just
the
fund
end
it.
of the fiscal year.
Right. So I just want to draw that attention to people, if they saw that, they see it is flatlined quite a bit, that they understand that is something that, you don't know if it's going to be a snowy year or not snowy year. I think maybe we want to look at sometime that, because we always probably go over, right?
Yeah, I mean, there have been times that we haven't.
So we
You know,
might want to
all
look at
different-
sometime in the
As we go, I
future.
mean, I know the superintendent's here, I think there was a few years ago back in, I think it was 15 and 18, with disastrous
Well, 18
winters, yeah.
18 certainly
With-
was.
With, $800 to $1 million cost over that, so.
There's 2 other quick things, if I may, Mr. Chairman. On the reserve fund, could you just explain to people so they understand what the reserve fund is, Michael, and how we're moving that from 50 to 100,000 over the next 2 years?
So the reserve fund is just that, it's a fund, we put money in it, think of it like a bank account, so, that is if there's something that comes up during the year, in order to touch that money, whether it's the 50 or the 100, we're putting it back to 100. We had lowered it when there was a lot of free cash, et cetera, to use stuff. So if there's a request that comes in, let's say that a boiler goes, or
Just like a rainy
some
day
other
fund
thing.
in case something
It's like
goes
a
that you don't
rainy day
expect?
fund, so we fill out the form, you have to go to the advisory board, they have to approve it, Board of Selectmen approve it, and then we're able to use that money.
So we're basically increasing that to make sure that we have enough capital
Enough cash
around in
on
case
hand, yeah.
something bad happens, unfortunately.
Yep.
And then just a final comment, I know that mix is always difficult on general government, public safety, human services, and everything like that to determine. But it's very interesting in how when you have large amounts of expenditures, even though you might have less money, it still can be big dollars. So,
That's
thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to speak.
Of course, thank you. You have any questions or comments, Lynn?
Just two quick comments. On page 7, so this prevented layoffs and maintained a total fixed cost increase of 1.06 over the last year. It's always our objective to keep fixed cost level funded. So that is impressive, and I just wanted to draw attention to that. And the other
Thank you.
point is on page 8 and at the bottom. And I just would like you just to, maybe perhaps for all of us, to explain the difference between inside debt and outside debt. I know we're at a reduction of $423,550.
Inside debt is what we do, it's easiest to explain, the CIP, which approved the capital improvement plan. That is funded through inside debt. The Board of Selectmen set how much debt we're gonna go into based on a recommendation. So this year, the board approved 1.25, because as we get tighter, so the inside debt, that's what you would do, inside debt. Outside debt is debt exclusion, so when you heard in the presentation, we have much more capacity in outside debt. That's why when we get into some other things, we'll need to be talking about outside debt being used, a debt exclusion, to fund, really anything over $1 million. Even, we have to look at it, because, revenues are tightening up. We're still in a good financial, but you can tell by the revenues that things are starting to slow down. Excise tax is starting to slow down. People are very concerned about high interest rates on cars, so people aren't buying new cars. They may be leasing cars, or they may be buying older cars. So with excise, those taxes go down. Of course, Massachusetts is one of the only, I think there's 2 states, we're one of 2 that has excise, where it's a 50-50 split with the municipality and with the Commonwealth. And then we're seeing expenses going up exponentially, because anything we buy is being affected by the cost of the inflation,
Right.
raising everything, and the scarcity of resources. If you go to the supermarket, you see some days you go, there's tons of bread, some days there's not. Some days you go to buy eggs, there's no large eggs, there's only small eggs. Milk, especially at the holiday time. It's the same thing with construction materials. Steel, Tom Reynolds, our superintendent, he's been waiting to get all the steel. We've waited and waited. We finally did get it, but it was like, nail biter, waiting for when we were gonna have it delivered and get it. It's, so a lot of challenges.
Right, and I know the interest rates play a factor in all of us personally and the town, and at a municipal level. There's a lot of the what-ifs of where we're going, and so I think this budget clarifies and takes that in a conservative measure, so.
No, it does. We want to continue to be conservative. We need to get to fiscal '28. Once we get to fiscal '28, and if the county stays online to be fully funded, that will free up a substantial amount of
Right.
money, where we can start to look at adding some positions, filling some positions that we haven't filled in years. So we have to wait, take it. I think, like everybody, we have to be concerned about the inflation and how that's going to affect us doing business. Any purchases, we were very lucky, as Mr. Kilcoyne alluded to, when we did the debt exclusion. We get an interest rate of 1.9%. That's how
Yeah.
we saved
Crazy.
all of that money. And as Mr. Darcy knows, because before he got on the board, he headed up the political piece and the media piece to get the information out there. Had we been a month later, we would have never been able to do what we did to make the vast improvements in public safety, in DPW, in seawalls,
Right.
the senior center. We
And
just
I'd like to
wouldn't have had the
commend those
capacity.
boards and,
Yeah. No.
we're seeing the effects of
No.
good work from back then, so, good job. High fives.
Thanks, Lynn.
That's it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very
Great.
much, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, well, it's great to see so many department heads here. You guys can get back to your families, your dogs, or whatever show you're currently binge
Bye,
watching.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Drive safe.
Thanks for coming in.
you.
See you, thanks, Mike.
Okay. We'll be there.
Ned, you gonna stay for the remainder, because it can, Ned? You gonna stay for the remainder, it can be quite riveting.
He's got an action item.
Sure, I'm here, I'm here.
To the end,
Show flies.
to the end, good man.
I'll be the only one, but that's okay.
We're good.
We'll keep him company. We'll keep
Yeah,
him.
he'll be
Thank you,
fine.
Karen.
He'll be fine.
That was nice, though.
Don't worry, Ned, we'll get you out of here. So we'll jump to action item number 8, which is discussion and vote on a request to accept a $700 donation.
Well done.
Thanks. So, Ned, you're more than welcome to give us some background if you'd like, but I always say that you guys are a very active committee, you're doing amazing work, and you continue to get so many things done for the town, so.
This is for the, action number 9, right?
Number eight.
Number 8. It's just a little different. We had to update the agenda.
Okay,
It's the
sorry
same.
about that. Yeah, very excited. We had a very nice mountain bike race, Carolina Hill, and thanks to the support of the town administrator, the board of select board, police, fire, DPW, and schools. Very successful race. We're looking to come back into June this year, do a little bit earlier in the season, and again, working with the New England Mountain Bike Association and Jeff Wilson to put it on. So Jeff actually dropped off a check today for $700, which was the available funds at the end of all the expenses. So that will be going into a donation gifts account that will have 2 parts. One will be for a restricted donation, and the other one will be for a general donation. And I spoke with Lisa and Ann, and we'll be working on that probably next week, get that set up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so very excited about that.
That's great. Thank you, Ned. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I just want to call out and say, once again, as I usually try to do, is anyone that donates on behalf of the town, I'd like to say thank you very much to the New England Mountain Bike Association for their generous donation.
Absolutely, thank you.
Hi, this is Jeff. I'm online.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
So yeah, it was a successful race. Thank you guys for letting us have it. I think I got reviews. I went into the bike pod race and they're like, hey, we heard your race was very successful. So it was good to hear that from, different sources. And everyone had a good time. So I don't know if you've seen all the pictures. We had put pictures online too.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Jeff. Did you have any questions or comments, Lou?
Yeah, hopefully we can have it again. We're looking at June 25th as a tentative date. Hopefully, we'll bring a little bit more money. That was the first race, so I put the rate a little bit lower, and some of the kids that volunteered on it for free. But we're still, I think the total we made was just like 6 and some change, and then I threw it in to make it my own money to make it 700 donation.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll get bigger and better each year that you guys do it, so we appreciate your work on that.
Oh yeah, it looked pretty professional. We had the timing. We had a couple of locals that did a spreadsheet. The timing, we had the signs. I'm like, we pulled it off pretty good. Very few things that we need to touch base on for the first time. It was actually went well.
Excellent. Lynn, did you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't.
All right, awesome. So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the donation on behalf of the Recreation Trails Committee in the amount of $700 from the New England Mountain Bike Association. The donation is the result of the October 2nd, 2022 Carolina Hills MTB Classic. The donation is to be placed in the Recreation Trails Committee donation and gift account. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the $700 donation.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ned. It's okay, you can leave if you want to.
I just want to listen, not yet, I want to listen to,
The next.
He said he was going to stay for the whole night.
well, maybe not the whole night, but
Is there anything else that kind of piques your interest that's on
open space.
open space? So that's not on tonight's agenda. That'll probably be on our next meeting agenda.
Okay.
So you might be looking at an earlier version. So we have 16 action items tonight. So we can definitely let you know when that comes up again.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Ned.
Then I will leave.
Yeah. Thanks, Ned.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
So next up, we have a discussion to vote on the annual renewal of licenses for Stellwagen Beer Company. That's, pretty straightforward. It's just kind of their common vic license, entertainment, and a few other things. Any other context you think we should add, Michael?
That will cover it. They were inadvertently left off at the last list when you did the renewals.
Oh, great. Thanks, Michael. Any questions or comments, Jim?
I do not, thank you, sir.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the annual licenses renewals for Stellwagen Beer Company, located at 100 Enterprise Drive, Marshfield, for a Farmer Series pouring permit, a common vicular license, and an entertainment license contingent on clearance from the collector. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote by the board to approve the licensing for Stellwagen Beer Company.
Awesome. And then next up, we're discussion vote on appointing Kate as our parking clerk.
So just, if I may, so with Beverly retirement on December 30th, we need a parking clerk, and the board
Kate
needs
stepped
to
up.
appoint Kate as the parking.
Do we have money in the budget to get Kate some Kevlar for people who are upset about their tickets?
Yes, we can do that. Yes, we can.
Any questions or comments,
I
Jim?
do not, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions or comments,
No.
Lynn? Alrighty, I'll make a motion to appoint Kate Burke as the Town of Marshfield's parking clerk effective December 30th, 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Kate Burke as the parking clerk.
Excellent. Alright, so next up, we have a discussion vote on the seasonal population estimate. I know, Michael, we got an email summary from you and Nerese. Do you just want to give us some more background?
So this is, so every year, because we're considered a summer community, our population goes up because of beautiful beaches. People want to come here in the summer. People have a lot of summer homes, access to all of our beaches and our restaurants. So there's a provision in the law that we're able to project what our summer population will grow to. And this year, in consultation with the town clerk, our police chief, and looking at the data, we're projecting about 45,000 people. So an increase of about 5,000 over what we've been doing over the years based on the availability of inns and guest houses and people having a lot of family come down, and the desirability of our beautiful beaches.
Thank you, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I do not.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
Alright, I'll make a motion to approve the seasonal population for the town of Marshfield at 45,000 people. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve a seasonal population of 45,000 people.
Awesome. Next up, we have Jim's favorite segment,
It is one of my favorites.
surplus items.
And the pictures again.
Yeah, do you want to walk us through it, Jim?
No, it's, we understand there are some broken shredders and things like that we have here in the office, and we're gonna need to declare it for destruction.
So we can throw it away.
It's just a simple one, it's not as much fun as usual.
Yeah, just one item.
Yep.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I'm good. I was gonna say, how are we gonna smash it? No. We're good.
It'd be like the scene in Office Space when they smash the computers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the destruction of a broken shredder from the Select Board's office. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous approval to get rid of the broken shredder.
Awesome. And then next up, we have just waiving the building permit fees for a gazebo at the Amesway School. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Nope, pretty standard.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Nope.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve waiving the building department fees for the installation of a gazebo at the Amesway School. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the waiving of the fees for the installation of the gazebo.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. And then 6 and 7 are kind of related. They both are, donations to our Veteran Services gift account. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I would like to once again say thank you to Mr. Joseph Hanlon for his gracious donation to the Marshfield Veteran Services, as well as to, am I pronouncing it right, Varsity Irrigation? He's gonna do the,
Vasey,
yeah.
Vasey's gonna do the work, also for the Veteran Services for an amount of $262, so thank you for both of us.
Yeah, perfect, yep, definitely deserve to be recognized, so thank you, Jim. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No,
All right, so for action item number 6, I'll make a motion to approve on behalf of the Veteran Services Office a donation in the amount of $200 from Mr. Joseph Hanlon. The donation will be used to assist our veterans and their families in time of need through the gift account. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
aye,
Unanimous vote to accept a $200 donation from Mr. Joseph Hanlon.
Excellent, and I'll make a motion to approve a donation on behalf of the Veteran Service Office for Veterans Memorial Park in the amount of $262.62. This is the difference before taxes between the agreed-upon budget for the park's holiday decoration and lighting and the amount spent by Vasey Irrigation to do the actual work. Eric Vasey has donated this difference to the Veterans Memorial Park. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
aye,
Unanimous vote to accept the donation of $262.62 from Eric Vasey.
Excellent. And action item number 9, just going through some various dates for Wellesley Public Schools to visit our beautiful Wrexham Beach and Brant Rock Beach as well for some field trips. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I hope they don't get rained out, and I hope they have a great time. I'm sure they'll have a great time.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
no,
Alrighty. So I'll make a motion to approve the request of the Wellesley Public Schools to use the Marshfield Beach facilities for an outdoor marine science field trips for 30 to 40 second grade children from each school listed. The trips are fully supervised by parents and teachers and will take place on the following dates from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So first up we have May 11th, 2023 with a rain date of May 12th, 2023, and that's going to be at Wrexham Beach and it's going to be the Hardy School. May 25th, 2023 with a rain date of May 26th, 2023 at Wrexham. That's going to be the Fisk School. May 25th, 2023 with a rain date of May 26th, 2023 at Brant Rock. That's going to be the Upham School. June 9th, 2023 with a rain date of June 12th, 2023 at Wrexham Beach, and that's going to be the Sprague School. June 9th, 2023 with a rain date of June 12th, 2023 at Wrexham Beach, and that's going to be the Schofield School. June 9th, 2023 with a rain date of June 12th, 2023 at Brant Rock, and that's going to be the Bates School. And then finally, June 9th, 2023 with a rain date of June 12th, 2023 at Brant Rock, and that's going to be the Hunwell School. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
aye,
A unanimous vote to approve the request of the Wellesley Public Schools to use Marshfield Beach facilities.
Excellent. So next up is a very fun annual event. It's going to be the St. Patrick's Day 5K race. Pretty straightforward, great event, and there's always people holding signs at this race to kick off campaign season. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
We've done it before. It always comes off well. It's very well organized, and I expect the same this year. So that's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
it's a lot of fun. Yep,
Absolutely.
all good.
Alrighty, so I'm going to dive into this motion. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the request of the Marshfield Education Foundation to hold their 13th annual Marshfield St. Patrick's Day 5K to be held on March 18th, 2023 at 10 a.m. in Brant Rock with the following stipulations from the Marshfield Police Department. Number 1, that 2 detail officers will be posted at the west end of the Brant Rock Esplanade and a detail officer at the east end of the Brant Rock Esplanade to ensure the safety of the runners at the beginning and end of the race. Number 2, in order to ease congestion and keep traffic flowing, we'll be utilizing a cruiser with a detail officer to block vehicle traffic traveling east on Plymouth Ave and a cruiser/motorcycle at Setauket Ave and Webster Ave to assist traffic exiting the Brant Rock neighborhood. A cruiser/motorcycle blocking traffic west on Ocean Street. A roving cruiser/motorcycle to assist with other safety/police issues. And 8 detail officers totaling 36 billable hours, which was the same of last year at a total cost of $2,370.96. Third stipulation, that appropriate signage is placed along the route to guide runners and warn motorists of the event. Number 4, that race officials are stationed along Plymouth Ave, ensuring runners and walkers are staying in the right-hand lane and not impeding traffic traveling west on Plymouth Ave. Number 5, that all walkers and runners will be off on Plymouth Ave in a timely manner in order to comply with federal MUTCD standards and MassDOT policy for detours and road closures. Number 8, the traffic will only be discouraged, and at no time will the area be detoured without the presence of a police officer. Number 7, that all participants and associated race equipment will be removed from the public ways after 60 minutes from the start of the race. Number 8, the Brant Rock Esplanade area will be detoured from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's everything, right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the request of the Marshfield Education Foundation for their 13th annual St. Patrick's Day with the stipulations as approved.
It's times like that I appreciate you typing out the language for the motions, because that would have been tough. Alrighty, so next up, we have action item number 11, which is the renewal of some licenses for Class 1 and Class 2. And that's going to take a bit of a minute to read through those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to that. Jim or Lynn, do you have any questions or comments on number 11?
No?
I do not. It's very straightforward. Same.
Alrighty.
Car renewals.
All right, so first I'll just go ahead and read them, Mike, and then just dive into the motion, probably the best way to do it.
Yes.
All right, so our Class 2 renewal log is Cabillion's Car Care, and that is a Class 2 license. Taxes are current, forms received not yet, fees paid not yet. Lucetti Service Center Incorporated for a Class 2 license, their taxes are current, forms received, and their fees have been paid. Marshfield Auto Body Incorporated for Class 2, taxes are current, no forms received yet, but the fees have been paid. Marshfield Gas for Class 2, taxes are current, no forms received yet, and the fees have not been paid yet. Marshfield Tire and Auto Service Center Incorporated for Class 2, taxes are not current, no forms received, no fees paid yet. Minot Motor Sales Class 2, no taxes, they're not current, no forms received, no fees have been paid. We have MZ Auto Sales Class 2, taxes are current, but no forms received yet, and no fees have been paid yet. Ocean Bluff Automotive Incorporated for Class 2, their taxes are current, their forms have been received, and their fees have been paid. We have Quirk Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for a Class 1 license. Their taxes are current, their forms have been received, their fees have been paid. Quirk Kia South for a Class 1 license. Their taxes are current, their forms have been received, and the fees have been paid. We have Rafi Family Enterprises for a Class 2 license. Their taxes are not current, no forms received yet, and no fees have been paid yet. And then finally, Triple E Equipment Sales Corporation for a Class 2 license. Their taxes are current, their forms have been received, and their fees have been paid as well. So we're ended on a high note. And I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the annual renewal of licenses for Class 1 and Class 2 as read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms, fees, and taxes being current. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the annual renewal of licenses for Class 1 and Class 2.
Just seems like we read that. It's already been a year.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Isn't it crazy?
Time flies, Mr. Kilcoyne, when you're having fun, they
I
say.
know. Right? You can't sum it up any better than that.
All right, next up, we have some annual peddler's licenses. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I don't.
Any questions or comments, Lynn? Alrighty, so here we go. We have the licensee is Nathan Cohen, doing business as Wonderlust Brothers. That is for a peddler's license. I don't have to read the next 3 columns. I should have done that for the last one. Next, we have James Bertoni for Surf Dogs, and that's a peddler's license. Daniel and Josephine Naples, that is for Fetch Barbecue and Catering, that's a peddler's license. Catherine Keefe for Ellie's Treats, that's a peddler's license. Martin Rayner for Kono Pizza Cape Cod for a peddler's license. Clint Smith, doing business as South Shore Taco Guy, that's a peddler's license. Mr. Perfection Incorporated, doing business as Local Larry's Tacos, that's a peddler's license. Ryan Burt, doing business as Burt's Second Ice Cream, that's peddler's license. Kristen Donahue, doing business as Nona's Homemade Incorporated, that's a peddler's license. Joseph DeFrancesco, doing business as Just the Dip, that's a peddler's license. Anthony Burke, doing business as Mom on the Go Food Truck, that's a peddler's license. Stephen Burt, doing business as Burt's Ice Cream, that's a peddler's license. We have Stephen Lehman, doing business as Nautical Mile, it's a peddler's license. We have Casey's Curbside Bistro Bus LLC, doing business as Casey's Curbside Bistro, that's a peddler's license. We have Zach Cartman, doing business as Slack Tide Coffee Roast, it's a peddler's license. We have J&B Food Services LLC, doing business as Bone and Bread for a peddler's license. We have Nina Furness, doing business as Lolly Jolly Waffles LLC, it's a peddler's license. Joe Donahue, doing business as Joe's Eats and Treats for a peddler's license. We have Baby Duck LLC, doing business as Taco Fied for a peddler's license. We have Natalie West, doing business as Flashback Franks for a peddler's license. David Erickson, doing business as Away Cafe LLC for a peddler's license. We have Christopher Haddad, doing business as CJ's Creation Station for a peddler's license. We have the Massachusetts Catering Comp, doing business as the Meat and Cheese. It's a peddler's license. Thomas Malloy, doing business as the Barking Claw Cape Cod for a peddler's license. And we have Wanderson Goncalves for doing business as a Gonzalez food truck for a peddler's license. And we have Defined Palate, doing business as Lobster Love for a peddler's license. So I'll make a motion to approve the annual renewal of peddler licenses as previously read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms, fees, and taxes being current. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the annual renewal of peddler's licenses.
All right, so a discussion vote. I love this one last year. It's a renewal for a fortune teller's license. I did not know that you required a license to be a fortune teller. It's a dangerous game, so we got to regulate it and make sure that we have proper training and ethics for it.
And it's a very expensive fee also.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking the bank. Should we adjust that for inflation, Michael, you think?
We can at a future date, Mr. Chairman.
$2.05.
Yeah, exactly. Any questions or comments, Jim?
I do not.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
You know, I'd expect that she would be here in the audience.
kinda
to,
great we have one,
answer any
actually.
questions we
She
have.
can foresee in the future that there's a fee increase.
She can we approve it. All right, I'll make a motion to approve an annual fortune teller license for Michelle Ann Rolland. The paperwork has been submitted, the annual $2 fee has been paid, and the taxes are current. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the annual fortune teller license for Michelle Ann Rolland.
Excellent. So, number 14, kind of a similar track. So these are all common vic licenses, so I won't read the third column. I should not have done that last time either. All right, so any questions or comments, Jim?
How about it?
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
All set.
All right, so we have First Stop Coffee, 7-Eleven, number 37405H, Anthony's Pizzeria, Balanced Nutrition, Bees Ice Cream, Bungalow Kitchen and Catering, Bupa's Breakfast, Cam Fam Pizzeria, China Walk, Coffee Bar Cafe, Coffee Shack Incorporated, Dairy Queen, Domino's Pizza, Dunkin' Donuts, another Dunkin' Donuts because it's New England, Green Harbor Lobster Pound, Maze, Major League Pizzeria, Mandarin in Tokyo, Manny's Pizzeria, McDonald's, Pelican Snowballs, Remix Nutrition, Rocky Roads, Slack Tide Coffee Roasters, Starbucks Coffee number 7602, Subway, Sweet Frog Frozen Yogurt, The Hop, The Mug, and Wendy's number 2290. So I make a motion to approve the annual renewals for common vic renewals as read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms, fees, and taxes being current. Is there a second?
There is a second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the annual renewals for common victual licenses.
All right, this one's nice and short. It's an annual renewal for lodging houses. Michael, I know it's a dream to get a hotel in Marshfield one day, but we're not quite there yet. Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, go ahead. We only get two this one. So
Yeah.
you got one.
Perfect. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
Alrighty, so we have Seagar Corporation, which is doing business as the Marshfield Inn, and Nicholas D. Tomaso doing business as Nicholas D. Tomaso. Not very creative, but it'll work. All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the annual renewals for lodging houses as previously read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms, fees, and taxes being current. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne? Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the annual renewals for lodging house.
All right, so number 16 is coming, kind of an annual request, so pretty straightforward. I think it's because of the liquor license rules, Michael, that they's got to give us a heads up that they're
Yes,
closing.
under liquor license, they have to notify the licensing authority whenever they shut down and are not doing business.
Great, thank you, Michael. Any questions or comments, Jim?
Yes, I'm always sad not to be able to eat fried clams during the month of January, but I assume everyone needs a vacation.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
I was there this weekend. It was fabulous. I hope they have a good time during January and February. Nope, all set.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard-earned break.
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the request of Haddad's Ocean Cafe to close December 29th, 2022, and to reopen on February 14th, 2023. Is there a second?
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the request of Haddad's Ocean Cafe.
Awesome. Jim, any questions or comments on the meeting minutes from December 5th?
I do not. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from the December 5th, 2022 meeting. Is there a second?
There is a second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the minutes from December 5th, 2022.
All right, so happy holidays to everyone, and I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to adjourn.